I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the Meeple Society. Today we are on episode 99, part 5 of the tease, otherwise to be known as the Ticket to Ride episode.
I feel like we need some like train music going on right now throughout the entire episode.
I'll see what I can find. Better yet,
you'll see what I can find.
I was going to go there. I'm no good at finding music at all. Anyway, before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, hit the bell icon if you want notification of future content.
Or click the link below if you want to follow us on social media. This one's going to be a long one, I think. We're not going to be able to visit long periods on each one.
No,
is that what I'm trying to think?
There's a lot of Ticket to Rides over on that table. Like a lot. On the plus side, we don't have to explain the game on every single one.
No, that's why I got this one first.
Oh, well, we're starting off with a bang here, guys.
Yep, box on wrong already. And there goes the how do you lose instructions or rule books.
Trust me, we will find
them. You just
them
throw them on the floor and forget about them.
When we get up, because I will trip over them. Otherwise, I won't trip over them. I will slip on them otherwise. All right, Ticket to Ride. Let's get to it.
Have you ever heard of it?
I feel like Ticket to Ride is...
This is
an evergreen that got so many people.
Yes, so many people into the hobby.
Yes.
Not us.
Not us. We were pandemic. We've talked about that before. This did. This is one that we've had for a while. I've actually given my mom a copy of this. Now, whether she still has it, I don't know. But I have sent her a copy of it. Okay, so the way Ticket to Ride plays, for those that may not know, if you are new to gaming, yay, welcome. This is one that you should check out. So Ticket to Ride, this is the base game, is a map of the United States. There we go. With all these different train routes on it, connecting major cities throughout the country. This is one of those games that has had so many different variations made. We'll get into some of them. We do not even have them all.
No.
We will get into the ones we have. We have a good chunk of them.
We have most of them.
We do. All right, so everybody gets their set of trains and their little score marker. And the base game comes with these little bitty cards. And I think they very quickly realized this was not the way to go.
No,
and they put
you
out,
are using them like crazy.
Oh my gosh, these would be terrible to have to use. Can you imagine trying to... No. Anyway, so they put out the 1910 version, the 1910 expansion, which gives you a jumbo-sized set of cards for both. Actually, that's just more trains. Where's my tickets? There's my tickets for everything. So you get a jumbo-sized set of tickets and a jumbo-sized set of cards. So the way this one runs, on your turn you have 3 options. One of which is to pick up more tickets if you run out of tickets that you need to complete. But the main actions you're going to be doing for most of the game is picking up tickets, picking up train cards out of a display or off the top of the deck. There's always 5 out on display. You can pick up 2 of them unless you pick up an engine, and then you only get 1 because engines are wild and they're very powerful. But you can pick up any 2 that you want, or you can draw from the top of the deck. Or the second option you can do is once you have a set of cards that works for you, you can take your trains.
Oh no, you're going to get trains out and everything.
I'm only going to get 3 trains out because that's all the orange cards I could find quickly. So you could take your trains, turn in your cards, and claim the route you want on the board. Done. Hopefully, this is part of a larger route that you're looking for. Now, this card obviously will not be. No, this is Denver to El Paso. That's down here. That would not work. But instead, I could have done this and only turned in 2. Hopefully, that shows up on camera. So, you are claiming routes on the board in order to meet the objective of the cards that you were dealt. At the beginning of the game, depending on the game you're playing, you get dealt so many cards. You have to keep a number of them, but not all of them. And then throughout the game, once you finish your cards, or even if you don't finish your cards, maybe you know you're close, but you're not quite there yet, you can always pick up more cards and keep going. Game ends when one player is down to 2 or less trains, and then everybody gets one final turn, and the game's over. You count up your score. Now, I will tell you that you are instructed to count up your scores of the tracks you lay down as you go. That is so easy to forget. We almost never do. We always just do everything at the end of the game. One, I feel like it just makes it a much more relaxing game that way too. You don't have somebody who's obviously screaming ahead on the track, making it miserable for everybody else. My personal opinion.
And you don't have that, did I score that track?
Right. And then you're recounting. Okay, this one's worth 15. This one's worth 2. Okay, no, I got everything. I feel like it's just a faster game if you ignore that and just score at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. So
there are some you'll find out that you have
can't
to score
do that.
as you
Yeah.
go.
So this is the base game. Now, spoilers, we are keeping most of these. I will pick up that rule book when we get done. So that is the base game of Ticket to Ride. Well, let's see what else they came up with.
Okay. So let's go into the map packs.
Okay. Now, there were a lot of other full-fledged games that came out before these map packs.
Yes.
We know of at least 3 of them.
3 of them what?
We'll come to those, but let's start with the map packs to get them out of the way.
3 of them that's been
3
remade
of
with the
them
new
that,
artwork and everything.
Well, not just that, but that are full, complete games. They come with all the trains, all the cards, full maps, full-size boxes, the whole
and we'll
works.
Get to it.
We'll get to those, but first...
Let's start with the maps.
Yep. At one point, apparently Days of Wonder decided this is silly to keep reissuing all of these trains, to keep remaking these trains with jumbo boxes that are, I mean, you can see how thick this box is. So they started making these map packs, so what they call the map collection. Some of them are double-sided, some are not, but they all come with just the board you need, a rule book with, I kid you not, 12 different languages of instructions in it. This, if you know how to play the base game, this is all you have to read. This is it.
This page here.
Oh, you're right. This is a different page. Most of them are this. This is all you have to read. And it will tell you everything you need to know to play this game as long as you are familiar with the rules to the base game. So...
It gives you extra trains.
Yes, it does give you some extra trains
some
because,
of them you need them. Yeah,
yes,
you
this
need them in
particular
that.
one you need them. They tell you to start with, I think, 50 trains or 55 trains instead of the standard 45.
Yep.
It comes with your tickets for each side of the board. That's it.
Yes,
this one actually came with card holders.
Yes.
Because it's a team game.
Yes.
This one of these is team. So now let's get into some of the differences on this. This one comes with 2 different sides of the map. And I took pictures of all of these. So instead of opening up all the boards, just in the interest of time, I'll just show pictures. Because I did take pictures of everything. Legendary is a standard player versus player. The big difference with Legendary is that, oh, now see, I have to almost. The big difference with Legendary is that you have these tunnel pieces here. Every time you go through one of these tunnels, denoted by this X, you have to give up 1 train, and you put it down here. Now, these trains are all, is it per car? I couldn't remember if it was per car, because they're all fairly short.
Yes.
Per
I believe
X.
it's per car.
Double check that. Ooh, double check that. So, regardless, you're giving up train cars and going down here. Now, these are all worth a point at the end of the game, so you're not losing them, but you no longer have them available to complete your routes. And sometimes that can be detrimental. This one also has the ferries, and the ferries show up in a lot of them. With the ferries, the only big difference is you have to have a locomotive. You have to have one of those wild cards in order to do this. It's
Per X.
X?
Yes.
Okay.
Because some of them don't have.
Oh, no, that's true. That's true. The idea being that, I think the way they explained it in the book is that it is to signify how hard it is to get through some of the mountain routes, some of the mountain passes.
How hard the terrain is.
Right.
It
Now,
puts a wear on them.
right. So therefore, you're losing some of your cars. That is Legendary. Base Asia. This one made it a team sport.
Yeah, it was weird.
I liked it. I really did. So we talked our son and daughter-in-law into playing this one with us, and they won. They beat us at it. But you have these ticket holders, so you can play 3 teams, basically. You have these ticket holders, and each member of the team have to sit next to each other. So in between your turns, multiple, you've got potentially 4 other turns happening before your 2 turns. On your turn, you are given so many at the beginning of the game. You're given so many of the ticket cards.
Yes.
Actually, it's this one. You're given so many of the ticket cards. You have to put at least one into the team trays so that both players know what's happening and know what they're working on. However, the rest of them you have to keep private. So they don't know what you've got and what you're working on. You have to only hope that you're going to coincide in somehow. But each player puts one into the team holder. Then, when you're drawing train cars,
I was thinking, do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Then, as you're drawing these cards, because again, this didn't come with cards, you're using the cards out of the base game. As you're drawing these cards, you're picking 2, either from the top of the deck or from the display. One of them goes in your hand and the other goes into the tray for you and your partner both to see. So now your partner, in trying to finish up a route, can grab this. So if you can see what he's trying to do, but he's having trouble finding the cards he needs, and you happen to pull them, you can put one of them out there for him to use to finish up something. It actually was really neat. It definitely made you think about the game differently. I really actually enjoyed that one quite a lot.
Yep. Yeah, I think, what was it, when we did, I had built one route all the way through, which all you had to do is put one extra route on it, and it finished off some of your routes already.
Yeah.
And
we got lucky in that some of our routes really overlapped.
We're like right there together.
Yeah, but so did Justin and Jackie. So, and they did beat us quite handedly, if I recall. But yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed this one. So, we've had this one for a while too, and we finally got a chance to play Team Asia.
Yes.
We've played Legendary a few times, but yeah, I very much like this one. But that is Map Pack 1 or Map Collection 1.
So if you haven't noticed, all the map packs you have to have the base.
Yes,
the base game of the original version or Europe.
Yeah.
Next we have India and Switzerland.
Yeah, this is another dual-sided.
Now this one, it has the map Switzerland. I want to say before this expansion came out, there was an actual Switzerland one.
And I wonder, because
it was just by itself.
I wonder if it was done, because this comes up later with Marklin. I believe it was Marklin. That it was done completely different because it was done by a company. No, that was Poland.
Poland did that. Yeah, that's an expansion.
And I wonder if this was the same thing. Poland has a weird number. We'll get to that.
To it. Go with this one.
Okay.
I just brought it up because there is an actual full-size box of Switzerland.
Okay, so with Switzerland, again, 2 rule books, both very simple because they're one pagers usually, and then a double-sided map, and then your map cards. That's all you get, your route cards. You are expected to use these out of the base game, and your trains out of the base game.
What is different on this one?
Okay, this one
has mountain routes in Switzerland.
Route, and this one has the mountain routes where you have to pull the cards, right?
Oh, this is the one too that you're connecting countries.
Yeah, but that
because you had cards that you had to connect a city to a country, and the card it allowed you to pick which country you wanted to go to, because each country was actually a different point.
Right. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. Yes, some of the cards gave you, hey, you have to start here in Germany.
This one, that one's Germany, and go to Italy or
you had 3 options
France
to go into.
Yeah.
So that is.
But there was also cities too.
Yes.
The city ones that would give you 4 different countries to go to, and each country, if you went to this country, you'd get 3. If you went over there, you got 11.
Some of the route cards would say, go from Wassen, and you have a choice of going down here into Italy, over here
Poland,
into.
I think it is.
Ostrich?
I think that's Poland.
I think that's Poland, yeah. Or up here in Deutschland, up here in Germany. So, and when you hit Deutschland, you have all these options.
Oh, it could
There's
be Austria.
5 different cities into Germany that you can choose from. You don't have to go just to one. So you can go to any of them. But some of the cards, yeah, that was the weird thing. It would give you options going, okay, start up here somewhere. And if you go down here, it's 13 points. If you go over here, it's 5 points. If you go over here, it's 6 points. Okay. And depending on which route you finished is the points you got. Mm-hmm. I thought that was pretty interesting. It also had these unique train routes. These ones here, they're actually tunnels. Whenever you claimed a route here, so say I'm going to claim this route of 4 gray. Now the gray routes can be claimed by any color. You just have to have 4 of them, same color. So maybe I'm going to claim this route of 4 gray with oranges, and I lay down 4 oranges to do it. Then I have to pull the top 3 cards from the deck. I would literally go, oh, crap, there's an orange. Okay, this is not, my oranges were still on top. Let's not do that as an example. So I lay down my 4 oranges. Then I have to pull the top 3 cards from the deck. And if I pull any oranges or any locomotives, since locomotives can be any color, I have to pay more cards or I have to forfeit that route for this turn. I lose the rest of my turn. Mm-hmm. But as long as I pull other cards, then I'm fine. Now, of course, everybody else at the table is looking at those cards you just pulled going, oh, I've been looking for green. And that card just now gets discarded. Oh, well. That is Switzerland.
Yes.
The other side of the board is India. Now, India was a little different in the fact, I know you did not like India. India was a little different in the fact that...
That's right, I remember this now.
This one, you got bonus points anywhere from 5 points to 40 points if you were able to connect your 2 cities in 2 completely different ways. So in other words, what you really wanted to do was make a giant circle. I managed to do that and got 40 extra points on this one. I think you did it once. Did you even do it once?
I don't even think I did it.
Okay, I don't remember. And the weird, well, I shouldn't say the weird thing. The one thing that's important to know with Ticket to Rides is on all of the maps, all but one. Anytime you see a double route, those are only open if you have 4 players or more. And this is a 5-player game typically, except for the Asia one, which is 6. But these are only open if you have 4 players. They're not open for 2 players. So whoever claims this first piece here, if I claim the green, the white's, it's dead. You can't use it. So, but yeah, that was the different thing with this one, was the connecting your route in 2 unique ways.
As they call it, the mandala of it.
Yeah, it was interesting. I liked it, but it was, not your favorite, I know.
No, I did not like this one. I liked the Switzerland one, but did not like that one.
Okay, so that is Switzerland and India, Map Pack 2.
Map Pack 3 is on Sideways 2, the Heart of Africa.
All right, so Heart of Africa, again, just a rule book and cards. This one was different in that every time you claimed a route, when you were claiming your train cards, you also had an option. You had a 4th option for a turn, and you could claim these cards. What these cards did was double the value of your route if you were laying down in that area. Now, this is a single-sided map, so there's no double side to this one. But if you were laying down, say I was laying down, well, black and white is what's up top. So maybe I was laying right here. 3 train cars in a route is normally worth 4 points. If I laid down my 3 black cards and I turned in this card with it, that train route is now worth 8, not 4. Same up here. This is normally worth 7. If I were to turn in a yellow one, oh gosh, let me see. Let me find one.
Yellow,
here we
orange,
go.
and red.
If I were to turn this one in, this would now be worth 14 points. But you have to do it right at the time you do it. This is one of the ones that it even says in the rule book, if I remember correctly, we know some people like to wait till the end to score. You can't do that on this one.
No, yeah, this is when you have to score.
Designate somebody to be the scorekeeper if you have to, but you have to score them as you go because of these double points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was interesting. It gave a whole new dynamic to, I really want that card, but I want that card too because this one's worth 10 points, and if I double it, it's worth 20.
Yeah, because when you do draw train cards, you can draw 1 train card and 1 terrain card
Or you can draw two terrain cards
or two train cards. But yeah, having those in on the side there, because you had to put them down so everybody could see them.
Yes, everybody
knew what
you had.
hand. So, but having them set and ready to go when you know you have routes of that coming up made it a lot better, and the scores were a lot higher.
I did like that very much. And also, I just realized something. In case you're wondering how I've got these banded, they're not rubber bands. This is actually Hugo's Amazing Tape. So it holds cards together. It sticks to itself, but nothing else.
And
so
it's reusable.
It's reusable. It comes off completely with no residue on any of the cards. Now, I don't like using it with sleeved cards because it tends to bend the sleeves. That's the only problem I have found, so I don't use it on sleeves. But for just straight up cards like this is great. But anyway, we Hugo'd everything.
Yes.
So, all right, that is this one. Okay, I kept the box the right way.
Number 4 is the Netherlands.
This one,
what was the Netherlands about this one? This is the one that had the toll bridges.
Yes. Okay, so this is one of the few where both sides of the double routes were open no matter what. So this one actually comes with a bunch of money,
basically. You start with tokens.
You start with, I think, $30 in tokens.
Something like that. I think it's more than that. Maybe more than that. May not be.
Don't remember.
I will look.
I think it's 30. But anyway, on the map, like how I said I would just show pictures and not open every board?
Yeah, we knew that wasn't going to happen.
I know. I should have known better, but whatever. So on this board, you see all these little numbers next to the trains.
If you're right, 30.
It's 30. Okay. So
you're upside down.
I know I am, but that's okay, fine. I'll turn it this way. You just won't get the whole map because these maps are too large and split, and they're too hard to hold up. So next to each of these is little numbers. What this is toll routes, basically. They're toll fees or bridge fees.
Yes.
What do they call them? They're bridge fees, right?
Yeah.
Building fees. I don't know.
It's been a while since we played it, so.
We've played a lot of train games in the last 2 weeks. They are
called toll tokens.
Toll tokens.
Bridge toll tokens.
Okay, so these are bridge tolls basically, and these are the bridge toll tokens. Okay. The first person to build here. Now again, both sides are open even in a 2-player game.
Yes.
But the first person to build here pays the bank $4. Okay.
Depending on the bridge.
Depending on the bridge. Now this one's 4, this one's 1, this one's 2, 3, 3, 2. The next person to build there pays the first player $4. So if you run out of money, you can take a loan. You lose 5 points at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. Not that big a deal, but you can do it. There are some loan cards there, yes.
Cards for that.
But this one, in a 2-player game, we did not cross paths very often, which is odd because most of the time we're blocking each other like crazy.
I think we did. If you go to the picture, I think there's a few times that I paid you, you paid me.
Yeah, there were not very many though. You would have thought we'd have had a lot more. But for the most part, in a higher player count, somebody's going to be paying the bank, somebody else is going to be paying you. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah. And you want to try and go through some of the areas that you know people are going to be going through a lot in so that you can get there first so
you can get your money back.
Get that money back.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. I liked it. It was different having to balance my money along with my train cards and the number of trains I have left and everything else. So, but yeah, that is Netherlands Map Collection 4. All right.
Next, we have the United Kingdom with Pennsylvania.
Okay, I have to say, I think UK was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was.
I think UK was one of my favorites.
Because UK has the
technologies.
Has the technologies, but it also has the areas.
UK came with its own train cards because it has 20 locomotives in it instead of just 14. So that way you had a surplus amount of locomotives because in order to build outside of England, in order to build ferry routes
bigger than 3.
In order to build routes bigger than 3 or 3s, and in order to build routes bigger than 2 or bigger than 3, you had to have certain technologies. And those technologies cost locomotives.
Engines.
Yeah, they cost engines.
Now, in this game, though, any 4 trains, doesn't have to be the same
Yes.
color, but any 4 trains could be considered a locomotive.
Right. They had an exchange rate of 4-1. I thought it was interesting because you start the game just down here in England. That was it. That was the only place you could go. If you wanted to get over to Wales, you had to have a technology. Up here to Ireland, that's a technology.
Up to Scotland.
Up to Scotland, that's a different technology. I thought it was pretty interesting. Once you got your technologies, you were pretty much free, but there were even technologies that let you build next to somebody else for one piece, one time, that's it. And then you had to turn the card back in. You had to use it immediately, turn the card back in.
Yeah.
The rest of them, there were 4 of them, so everybody could have one if you bought it. Some of them were 1 locomotive, some of them were like 4 locomotives. They were expensive, but that's why they give you extra train cards. Pennsylvania, the flip side of the map, has, I'll just show this little section. I know, shut up. Pennsylvania has all of these different icons along each of the routes, or 99% of the routes. So I think there might be 2 on here that don't. But these are all different train companies, railroad companies. And the game came with a series of stocks for each one of these companies. So what happened when you built, you built your 4 oranges here, you had a choice of picking up, I think that's the Pennsylvania Railroad, Erie Railroad, B&O. Is that New York Central? I can't read that. That is teeny tiny.
Yep.
Or BR&P. I'm not sure which one that is. I don't know. But each one has a different number of stocks. Each one has a different value for the stocks. And all the stocks are numbered because at the end of the game, what you're going to do, everybody adds up the number of stocks they have. And whoever has the most in that stock gets a certain number of points. Whoever has the second most gets a different number of points. Some of the stocks only gave 2 sets of points. Some of them gave 5 sets of points. It just depended on how many stocks were in the mix. Like Pennsylvania Railroad, I think, was one of the most common. So it had like 15 stocks, and 4 different people got points for it.
Well, imagine that. We're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know, right? So I thought it was interesting.
You didn't
but I still
like it. I actually liked the stock one. But
yeah, no, I thought it was fine.
And that one came, if you're playing 2-player, you have to have a dummy player.
Yes.
So when you would go and claim a route, you would take a stock that's on that route, and then you would take another stock that was on that route and put it in a pile, and that became the dummy players. And at the end of the game, you would count up the dummy players' stocks, divide it in half, and those are the ones he gets to claim, and then you get points for whoever.
Basically, it threw somebody else into the mix for those point values.
So so it diminished the amount of stocks there were.
Yeah, UK and Pennsylvania. I liked it. I like UK better though.
Number 6 brought France and the Old West.
This one was interesting too.
Let's talk about the good one first.
He did not like one of these. Okay, so again, 2 rule books. So, first of all, let's start with
France.
This one came with a totally different color of trains too.
Yes.
Okay, let me just put this up here for a second. So France is the first one. This is a little snippet of France's board right here. Now, France's board, as you see, doesn't have railroads. It has railroad beds. Whenever you pick up a card, one of these, whenever you pick up your cards, if that's the action you chose this turn, was to pick up train cards, then you would take one of these sitting off to the side, and there's a whole bunch of them in this box. You would take one of these sitting off to the side, and you would lay it somewhere on the board. And that would denote what that train bed has now become. So you are literally creating the colors as you go. There are ones that overlap, like you see this one here, from Dijon to Mulhouse.
Yeah, so if you claim that one, now this one can't be claimed anymore.
It's no good. But there's a whole bunch of them. Here's another one here. There's a whole bunch of them on this board. Very interesting. The only ones that were already pre-assigned colors were the singles. And I think there was one really big one, a 6 or 7, that has a color assigned.
Yeah, and it's a gray route.
It's a gray route? Okay. But I liked that.
Yes, I did too.
I actually liked being able to plan out what my route would look like based on the cards I was pulling. So I did like that. So, but yeah, that is France. Now, the Old West. The Old West was a little bit different. So, and again, the Old West, the board is nothing different. There's nothing unique about the board. What is unique about the Old West is that you start off the game with one city, one outpost or city, I'm not sure what they exactly called it. And at the beginning of the game, you pick this one city. After you've looked at your route cards, you know where you need to go. You pick your city. Anytime somebody goes into your city, if they claim a route into your city. So for example, I am picking Bozeman and I'm going off this way down to wherever that leads to. But Greg comes in later and has to build from Billings to Bozeman to get through. I get these points. He doesn't. I get those points because I have a city in Bozeman. Mm-hmm. He could have the city in Billings, but I still get these points because he's coming into my city. You can put more cities out. You can have a total of 3 cities throughout the game, but it costs you, I think, 4 train cards to put one out, if I remember correctly. And that wasn't even the hard part of the game. You just had to be careful where you were routing unless you wanted to give up your points. Mm-hmm. Now, the hard part of the game was you picked your city at the start of the game, and that's where you had to start.
Yeah.
That wasn't the bad part, though.
No.
It was the fact that now you had to continue that route. You had 2 options on your turn if it came to laying tracks. You could continue the route you're on, or you could go back to your city and go another direction. That was it. You could not just say, oh crap, somebody's building over here and I really need this route. I'm going to jump over here and grab it real quick. Mm-hmm. You couldn't do that. You had to build to it. I mean, completely thematic for building in the Old West.
Yeah, because you're building the railroad across the Old West.
But it was a little frustrating.
Yes, it was. Now, this one also had both of them had the Globetrotter cards.
All right.
France actually had the longest route.
Okay.
But the Old West, I have no fingernails, so I can't get the card out. There it is. The Old West had the Alvin variant.
Yes.
Alvin the alien variant.
It started down here.
It started in Roswell.
If I can find Roswell.
If you built into Roswell,
here?
The alien card would be there. There are upgrades to that. They have little miniature figures for them. There's another one that comes with it, and I'm not sure which one that goes to yet, though. But anyway, so if you build into Roswell, you would take this token now. You would get 10 points for having it, and you would take this and move it to another city. And then when somebody builds in that, they get 10 points. But there's a card at the end of the game. If you have it at the end of the game,
you get 10 points.
You get 10 points.
Yeah. And that was interesting.
We didn't play that.
We did not play. Yeah, it was an interesting concept. We did not play with it. Honestly, and even if we had, neither of us ever built into Roswell. So
no, we did not.
Neither of us even got. Well, no, that's not true. I came down through this direction. Mm-hmm. It would not have been hard for me to get into Roswell.
Right. Yeah. It may have had you turn and go down that way.
I may have had rerouted myself. Yeah. So I thought it was interesting. I thought it was very thematic, but you did not care for it.
I didn't really care for it because if you're having trouble getting those trains for your route, it's like, okay, now do I just reroute? Do I go a different way?
Yeah.
But by the time that is, somebody could be coming around the other way, and all of a sudden, now they're into your routes, which is what happened to me.
It is.
You built right in my routes, and I could not finish some of my tickets. So.
This was the very first one This is the first time I've ever played Ticket to Ride that I ran out of trains. I could not finish my routes. I was 2 trains short of finishing my route.
Yeah, I think that's
because I'd had to reroute.
I think both of us ran out of trains.
Yeah, it was just Oh well. Anyway, France and the Old West. Okay, that's 6.
Number 6.5 is Poland.
Well, and I looked up why Poland was 6.5, and it was because that this was initially put out by a company in Poland. Mm-hmm. It was not originally licensed by Days of Wonder.
Yes.
But Days of Wonder liked it and went ahead and took it on.
Yeah.
But they'd already had 7 released. They released this and 7 at the same time. So for whatever reason, it ended up 6.5. I never clearly understood why 6.5, but I thought it was an interesting story. So yeah, this one actually was developed by a company in Poland. All right, so Poland is, Poland is different. One, it's a small board. I think this is one of the smallest boards away from the city collection. This is it. So the difference with Poland is that it comes with these different countries, these different country cards. So you've got the Ukraine, and you've got, I'm not sure which country. They're not the proper names on here.
Well,
that's the hard part.
They're all in Polish.
Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Okay. But anyway, you've got Czech Republic down here, and you've got Russia and Germany and Russia. Yeah, there's all sorts of them. Anyway, off to the side of the board, you've got your normal route cards, first of all. But then off to the side of the board are all of these cards, and there's a bunch of them for the same country. Like this one, here's Czech Republic, and there's 4 of them ranging from 10 points down to 2 points. There's like 7 or 8 of these sitting off, one stack for every country on the board. When you connect 2 countries together, whether those 2 countries are on your route card or not, it does not matter. Maybe I have to connect Rotau, I cannot pronounce these words. Maybe I have to connect here over here, or better yet, over to here. Well, I'm only 4 away from Czechoslovakia, and I'm only 2 away from the Ukraine. So maybe I'm just going to go ahead and spend those trains and the cards and connect into those 2. Then I would grab the top train off of the top card off of the Czech Republic, the Czechoslovakia. Good Lord, I'm making a mess. Off of the Czechoslovakia pile, and I would draw the top card off of the Ukraine pile. And those are points at the end of the game. I would now have more points. Now with this one, even though the double routes in the middle of the board were not open, the routes into the countries were never closed. You had all of those routes, no matter what. But here's where it got really interesting. So I've got these 2 countries connected, right? The Ukraine and the Czech Republic. Well, now maybe I have something else that's taken me up here to
To Russia, just to Russia. That way you can pronounce it.
There you go. Thank you. So I had something else that brought me up here, and I'm going to connect to Russia. So I connect to Russia. I pull the top Russian card, but I also pull the next card from the Ukraine pile and the next card from the Czech Republic pile. And those are all more points at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. It is a viable strategy to do the routes you have to have, that you have to pull.
Take the minimal routes.
And then just start connecting these countries, because every time you connect a new one to your network, you're pulling all of the cards that connected. I thought it was pretty interesting. Now, that being said, Justin did give up and go that route.
Yes.
And he lost by 2 points.
Yeah,
But I think
you guys didn't take that many routes. I took all my routes, the initial routes, and was trying to get that done and to make sure I had the trains, and then I was going to spread out. But the time I went to go and start connecting the countries, you guys had blocked a few, and a lot of them were gone. I did get some points on countries, but
and we ended up tying.
Most of them were gone.
I won because I had 1 more route card, because I had been able to pull more route cards at some point. I thought it was an interesting one. Definitely a totally different. You have to think about this one differently because of those country cards.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that is 6.5 of Poland. All right.
Number 7 brings us to Japan with an upside down box. And Italy.
We played this set with Cooperative Nerds. This one is actually some pretty thick books. I think these are both 2-page rule books. So let's start with Japan. Japan comes with a set of bullet trains. You only get like 30 trains in this one. It is not very many. So you have...
You're going to open it?
I'm not
really big map.
I'm not going to open it all the way. I just want to show this. I'm just trying to show just a section. All right, so Japan has these bullet train routes. And the unique part of this, they can be claimed with any color. So 3 reds, great, I'm claiming this, but I don't put my train down on this. I put one of the bullet train engines where the engine is shown. That's it. This route can now be used by everybody to complete their routes, this section. So if I need to come from over here, and maybe I need to get to here, I could take other people, what other people have done to get there, and just finish up the bullet trains. Now, the game ends when one person is down to 2, and the bullet trains are down to 2 or less. So you have to have both pieces connected in order to end the game.
Now, when you lay the bullet trains down, though, this is a track of 3.
Right.
You move your piece over here. 3,
Yes, thank you.
because you're going to score the points over here.
It
too.
actually comes with more score markers too, because as you're laying down the number of cards that you spent, you're moving your piece that far on this track, and whoever's further along gets points. You get points based on your position on the track, based on player count. Whoever's in last typically loses points, though. Oh, and it's all right here. Yeah, there it is. I thought it was pretty interesting. This one also had inlaid maps, though, which I thought was interesting, too. You can see part of Tokyo here. So Tokyo connects...
Right there.
Oh, there it is, right there. So this little city here, and there's a little more to it, but Tokyo technically is here. So if I have a route coming from...
I had a route from Fukushima to...
oh, there you go.
Kita-Senju. So I had to come down to Tokyo, which brought me in here, and then come over to Senju. Yeah, that one. Kita-Senju.
So I thought it was pretty interesting because it literally took you into this major metropolis area and then gave you an inlay map of that metropolis area where you could continue your route. And there was another one for one of the islands off to the far end of the way over here. Yeah.
And it was basically, if you look at the map, it basically goes to the end of the map, and it's just that extra part of the map that's part of the main island. It wasn't a. It's almost, not really part
it's almost
of an
like they do with a map of Alaska, where here's the map of Alaska, here's the inlay of the Aleutian Islands.
Yeah.
You know, because they can't fit it on the map. It was that type of situation. So that is Japan, and then Italy. Italy had these ferry routes.
Yeah.
So
with ferry cards.
With ferry cards. On your turn, you could pick up one ferry card.
Ferry cards were like the engine cards. You can only take one.
Correct. You could pick up one ferry card, or you could pick up train cards, or you could lay down tracks, or you could pick up more tickets. Those were your options. So when you go to complete these, you have to have all engines. But
or ferries.
4 of these could be ferries.
You had to have these symbols.
Yes. You had to have those symbols, that card would satisfy 2 of these. So I could get away with 2 ferry cards here and 3 engines. But that was the big difference with this one, was these. But there was end game scoring in covering districts.
Yes.
How many districts you got to. And I don't know if you can see. Nope, that is, well, that's the same map, but 2 different. Two different sections. Let's see if we can actually open up a little bit here.
Open the whole thing up?
With that, well, I hadn't intended to, but that's what's happening. It's just the way this thing folds.
You can see a few different districts here.
So
they're represented by
these different colors and the icons. The more districts you were able to connect together, and there's a scale down here, you could get as many 56 points at the end of the game if you connected 15 or more districts. There was a couple districts where if you connected everything in it, it counted as an extra district. None of us did that.
Yeah.
We played this 4-player, and so we got access to the double routes at least, so that was good. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. But make sure I'm not folding this wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that is Japan and Italy, number 7.
Then the last one that just came out last year, was it?
This one just came out last year.
This is Iberia and South Korea.
Yes. So Iberia comes with these festival cards. At the start of the game, you are putting all of these festival cards into the train deck. That's why it comes with its own train deck. And you can use these same train cards for Korea. You just have to take these out. So these all get mixed in. When these get pulled, they go next to the city. Let me find one. Here we go.
Oh, okay. Now I remember this one.
Remember this one now?
Yes.
Okay. So they go next to the city that was pulled, and it's denoted by all these little flower icons. So you would just take it, and of course I'm not going to find one that I can actually put out here. Pretend this says Palma. You would just put it down here. The first person to connect into Palma, or maybe the next person to connect into Palma, would take all the cards listed there, all the cards piled there. Now, Palma had like 15 cards to it, or maybe not quite that many. But Palma had a lot of cards. So maybe the first person that connects in there gets 4 of them. Well, there's still 4 more routes into Palma.
Palma had 3 cards.
Palma only had 3? Really?
Because it tells you how many cards are on the bottom of it.
Okay, so maybe Palma, the first person only got 1 card. The next person that goes in maybe gets the last 2. At the end of the game, you're going to add up, based on the number of cards you have, how many points you're going to get for that. But only the player with the most gets the points, if I remember correctly. Not everybody gets points for their cards. If I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that.
No, I think you still score the points.
Do you?
I think you do.
Maybe you do. But that was the difference with this one, is that as you're pulling train cards, you're pulling these too. If you pull these, you just put them out where they go and pull a new card. You still get your 2 train cards. But that was the big difference with this one. There was extra scoring based on the cities you were going in and out of in order to get those cards. And sometimes you rerouted yourself just to get those cards. They were good points.
Yeah, they were. Or you decide that's got a lot of points. I don't need to go there, but I'm going to go in there and get those cards.
All right, so the opposite side, South Korea, I love the colors on this one. South Korea has this beautiful nighttime motif on it. As you notice, for the first time, the areas are kind of set up color coordinated a little bit. As you are putting train cards out and putting your trains down, the color of the route you choose, and this goes for the grays as well, because you could make it any color and choose that. And let me turn this right side up. You could take one of your train cars. Now, mind you, that means it comes permanently out of your stock. It may affect how many cars you have available for the rest of the game. But you can take and you can put these down
and claim one of
here
those
and
routes.
Claim one of the numbers here on this card. So, for example, if I were to claim this 6 of green, I could put it here on the 6. Now, I could pay 1 extra card and get a 7, or an extra card and get an 8.
Or play one of these cards.
Or you could play one of those, and that would allow you to bump it up as well. Those would also let you, you could replace a card with one of those, I think, if I remember correctly. Like if I only had 5 cards, I could play the +1 and get it. There were a couple different ways.
Yeah, there's a couple different
worked.
things you could use them for.
And I always forgot about them. I don't think I used it but once.
Right.
Everybody had 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3. You only got to use them once, each one of them once. At the end of the game...
Oh, yeah. It's basically added to whatever action you're doing. So like if you're drawing cards, you play that card, you're getting 3 extra cards.
Okay. That's what it is. Okay. So at the end of the game, you do your normal scoring. And then up here, you get points based on where you are on here. So for example, in the green, maybe I paid that extra card and I got a 7, but I'd also gotten a route of 4. That's 11. Now, unfortunately, I don't always just get the 11 because somebody else could have come in here and done the 2 and the 3 and the 8. Well, now they have, 13. They would actually win because they have more points than I do. I would not get my 11 if I only had the 4 and the 7. The 2, 3, and 8 beat me. So it's kind of an area majority up here, but you're vying for points. You want to get more cars out here, basically. But at the same time, it may not be worth wasting the trains because you may need them out here. It's a very interesting balance. So, all right, that was Korea, and the only differences with that one, or South Korea, I should say.
South Korea.
That's the end of the map packs, the map collection. We still got a lot to go, though.
Yeah, that's why I said it's going to be a lot.
Okay, all right, next.
Now we're going to get into these small city ones. We
city
only have
collection.
3 of them.
We do. There are 6 of them
We
out
actually
there.
have 4 of them in the house, but
Yes.
we've only played 3 of them because we don't own one.
We don't. Yeah, the other one belongs to the kids.
First one is London. I don't know if that was the first one that came out. No, I think New York was the first one that came out.
I don't know, honestly. Okay, so London
Is a mini game.
Yeah, these are all little mini games. They are
Standalones.
standalone little 20-minute games.
This one you didn't have trains, you had buses.
Yes. I like the rule book, though. The rule book looks like a little train map. So with this one, you are attempting to complete districts in order to get the extra points. So for example, if I managed to get into all 4 of these, I would get an extra 2 points at the game. Similarly, if I got all 3 of these, I would get an extra 3 points. An extra 5 if I got all of these.
It made the game almost like an area control game.
It did. It really did. And additionally, you had to finish your routes. So that may not have been possible. I mean, you don't get very many. This is all you get.
Mm-hmm. Well, the maps are so small.
The map's not that big, right.
And it's a 4-player game.
Right. We'll come back to our thoughts on these. So that's London.
And then we have New York.
I'm going to put that right there.
New York, I think your trains were they buses again too, or cabs?
They were cabs.
They were taxis, that's
right. And it looks like a New York City flyer. I like that. I like the way they did the rule books on it.
Yeah, it was like brochures of the city.
That was kind of neat. This one,
you were collecting coins and trying to connect to tourist attractions.
Yes, you were trying to connect to the tourist attractions because you got extra points for all the tourist attractions you got to. United Nations, Times Square, Empire State Building, etc. Chinatown, Wall Street. So that is what was different here. Yeah, you scored an extra point for each one of the tourist attractions you got to. And again, your cars were little bitty taxi cabs, little teeny tiny little taxi cabs. They were cute. All right.
And then we also have San Francisco. These were your trolleys, if I'm not mistaken.
These were trolleys.
That makes sense, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yes, your cars are little trolleys.
At the start of the game, you're putting all these little tokens out onto the 5 red areas. Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, the Embarcadero, Potrero Hill, I probably mispronounced that, and Sunset. As you claim your routes, as you are building out your routes, and you move into one of these areas, you can take the token off the top. At the end of the game, depending on the different tokens you have, you can only ever get one, but you can claim, you get various points based on how many tokens you have. That is the difference with this one, is again the tourist attractions, only this time it was based on tokens, not just points on the board. All right, so all 3 of these, none of these really hit with us. I can see the appeal in them.
Yeah.
Our son loves them. He has a couple of these. We're going to let these go. So far, out of everything we've talked about, these are the only ones we're letting go. With all the other Tickets to Rides we have, and we still have more to talk about, these will never come off the shelf.
This is if you want to play Ticket to Ride really, really quick with somebody who's never played it, but I feel like it doesn't quite teach them. It gives them an idea how to play Ticket to Ride, but not a full-on.
But I would still rather pull a base game.
Because there's things that are different in each one that's not in the regular Ticket to Ride.
These are they're meant to be
little
mini games, and that's what they are. And
these all came out when other games were making smaller versions of their games. So
yeah, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, so these are going to leave the collection, though. Okay.
So now on to the standalones. So let's get to, I think this was the next
standalone that came out. This is the second one that came out.
This is Ticket to Ride Europe.
So this one is the one that actually introduced the tunnels, where you have to pull those 3 extra cards. This one also introduced, they're mixed in, darn it. This one introduced stations.
Yes.
The stations, and this is the only game where the stations are used in. I've never seen them used anywhere else, which is a shame because they were very useful. So stations could be put out on any city with the use of a couple of cards. That was your whole turn, though, was to put out a station. But what the station did was allow you to use somebody else's route. So, for example, if I'm trucking along here and I need to get down to here, and Greg just took this little bitty portion of the route because he's coming this way, I can put my station right here. Actually, this would be Greg's station, but you get the idea. I would put my station right here, and that allows me to use one of his routes connected to this station. Now, that being said, if I had to get up to here, that would not work also. I could only use one of the routes, and that route had to be used for every card that I was using this station for. So you couldn't switch routes up. I would have to put a second station someplace else if I wanted to do that. That was the big difference with this one, was again, it brought in the ferries that we already talked about in some of the other map collection. It brought in the tunnels where you had to pull the 3 extra cards and hope for the best. but it also brought in these stations that allowed you to use somebody else's routes. So I thought I like that. But that's
This is
Europe.
also one of the first ones that the rule book is only in English, so you got to look for your language, the version of the game.
Yeah.
This was also, it brought with it the 1912 expansion.
Yes, it had an actual expansion, not just bigger
Not
cards.
just the larger cards, but
they got wise and put bigger cards in with this one. So this one brought in, the 1912 brought in the depots, which are these. And it also brought in some other cards and some bigger routes and things like that, some big city routes. But what the depots did, everybody got this little warehouse. And you'd start the warehouse, you'd have 5 depots. You put 1 depot on the board at the start of the game. You could put more depots out. Every time you would pull cards, every time you would pull a train card, you would take 1 train card off the top of the deck first and put it into your warehouse. So you would start collecting this stack, because every time you're pulling cards, you're doing that. 1 goes on the top of your warehouse, and then you take your normal 2. You never know what's in your warehouse until you go to pick them up. Whenever you connect a route into a depot, and not just your depot, anybody's depot. If I connected a route into Greg's depot, if I want to pay one of my depots, I take one of my remaining 4 depots and throw it into the box. It's done. Then I could take all of the cards sitting on his warehouse, and all of those cards go into my hand. Same thing. He could do it to me. I could do it to my own depot. You can put more depots on the board, which would give you more options for pulling cards out of your depot. But every time you're pulling cards out of, out of your warehouse, every time you pull out of a warehouse, you're losing your depots. So it's a fine balance since you only have 5 of them. It's an interesting little expansion. We've played it a couple times now, and it's you got to bide your time on exactly when you want to pull those before somebody else does.
Yeah.
Okay. That is Europe, and we're going to hold on to this one too. So, okay.
Next, this is one of the ones that is actually had a different version of it out.
Yeah.
This is Nordic Country, and now they have Northern Lights. It's the same map, but apparently there are differences in the game now. There's slight differences
small
to the game.
differences, but I don't know what they are. But the map is identical.
Yeah, this is the original version of it.
Yes.
And this introduced the purple trains.
Yes. This is a 3-player game. So they give you your own trains, black, white, and purple here. Totally different. You've got train cars, again, standalone game. You don't need any other game to play this one.
All the train cars have snow on it.
Yep. This one also had, oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to do that. Aha. Okay. Again, 3-player game, very tight board.
Yes.
So this one, again, had the tunnels where you got to pull the extra card. It has the ferries. But yeah, so this one really didn't do much different. It did have the Globetrotter. I don't remember if it had longest route or not.
No.
But yeah, same basic things that Europe did with the tunnels and the ferries, but just on a smaller scale, made for 3 people instead of 5.
This one, a lot of the routes where you either needed a engine for, and sometimes 2 or 3, or there were tunnels.
This was it's a hard map.
This one was a very hard map because, like I said, the tunnels, you got to lay them, and then you got to draw 3 cards to see if you actually get it through.
Best. Yep.
So yeah, it was a pretty tough one to do, and it's pretty tight.
It's a pretty board though.
Yeah.
Okay. I love.
But like I said, Nordic Countries
is
or
now
Northern Lights.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think you can get Nordic Countries anymore. You'd have to go Northern Lights, which again, I don't think there's much difference. I would have to compare the rule books. I honestly don't know. But yeah, that one's sticking around too. All right.
Next one is...
We're almost there, guys. I promise.
Ticket to Ride Marklin. This is now Ticket to Ride Germany.
Yes.
Which has a little bit of difference.
There's some difference. I know the box is very different.
I know the map is identical.
Yeah, the map is identical. This is a German map. It even says right there on the board, this is a collector's edition. I think they only put out so many of these.
Yeah, because this one was based on the Marklin toy trains.
Yeah, all of the cards portray toy trains.
And that's the reason why it's a still picture instead of a drawing.
Right. It's a still life, or it's a model train.
It's a model train with the little mini people and everything on it.
Yep. Okay, so with this one, you are putting passengers out, or you are putting, no, I'm sorry, you are putting
This one also came
souvenirs.
with its own trains.
Yes. Well, yeah, this is a standalone.
Right.
But it changed up the colors on you because it brought in the purple again.
Yeah, and got rid of blue.
It did get rid of blue.
Okay, Days of Wonder.
Okay, so this one, you are putting little souvenirs or little...
Passengers.
No, these are not the passengers. Your passengers are your guys that are in here. You have to pull one out for me. These are... They're not souvenirs. They're listed as something else, and I don't remember what now. But anyway, you're putting those out onto the cities based on the colors. So the reds have 432
Merchandise tokens.
Merchandise tokens. Thank you. So souvenirs. The yellows have 321, and the whites have just a 2 on them. You are laying your trains out as normal. At some point, after you've laid your trains down, you can lay down one of your passengers. You can put a passenger into a city that you've just claimed a route into, and he just sits there and bides his time. At some point, you can run your little passenger, and you can run him over all of the routes that you have connected together. With the exception of the city you're starting in, you pick up the merchandise tokens in every city you're wandering through, the top one. There are stacks in some of them. But you pick up the top one in every city you're going through. And then as soon as you get to the end of your path, you take him off the board and he's done. You have 3 of these that you can use throughout the game. That's it. There are in the train cars, so you have normal, your train cars are these. You have your train car stack, and in that stack is these. These allow you to use the track of one of your opponents. So maybe I am cruising right along, and I get to the end, and oh look, Greg is built over here. I'm going to go ahead and give one of these up and move over and claim the one at the end of Greg's line. These allow you to do that, and for every one you lay down, the more of their paths you can cover. So these are kind of valuable at the end. There are 2 different types of locomotives in this one too. You have your standard locomotive, and then you have your locomotive. This locomotive can be picked up just like a normal train car.
Yes.
But it's a wild, but it can only be used on routes of 4 or more. So it's got a little bit more restriction on it than the regular locomotive. So it's a little more flexibility in picking it up. So, all right, that is Marklin.
And then we have Rails and Sails that took Ticket to Ride and turned it on its end.
Yeah. Rails and Sails is your basic Ticket to Ride.
This also has the Great Lakes.
Yeah, it has the Great Lakes on the other side. So there are 2 sides to the board. This board is, well, it's actually just as big as all the others, I guess. But, yikes. You start off with what is called the Global Tour, where, and this is not the way to look at this map, but you know what?
That's why you took pictures.
I did. And the way this map is folded, I can't even just fold it in half. But there's part of the board. Here's your big difference. Let's just do this. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do this. There you go. There's the bottom half of the world. You have boat routes. So you don't have ferries now. You have full-on steamer ships. So you have your trains still, but you also have boats. And you are connecting your routes using all of those. Everybody starts with 3 of these little harbors. You can put your harbor out for it costs 2 trains and 2 ships, all of which have to have a specific icon on them.
It has to have the anchor on it.
Of the cards, of these cards. So they have to have this anchor on them, the ships and the cars, train cars, in order to use those to build a harbor somewhere. But these harbors are hugely beneficial because you get points for every route that connects through them, 1, 2, or 3 routes. So if you can connect 1 route through this harbor, then it's 20 points. If you connect 2 of your routes through this harbor, it's 30 points. And if you connect all 3 of your routes through this harbor, that's 40 points at the end of the game, times 3 harbors, if you can do it with all of yours. I did. I kind of beat Greg. It was yeah. Anyway, so that's what the harbors do.
Yeah. But you have The ship cards have...
You have single ships and double ships.
Double ships, yes. I don't know if you covered that or not.
Yes, no, I had not. Thank you. So the ship cards are kind of dual purpose. You've got some that are double ships, some are singles, because some of these ship routes are huge. 7, 8 ships long. The trick is, at the beginning of the game, you have, on this side of the board, you have 55 trains. No, I'm sorry, you get 60 trains. You can get a total of 60 trains. You have access to 25 train
60 pieces.
60 pieces, thank you. You have access to 25 train cars and 50 boats. And from those 75 pieces, you have to decide how many of each you want to make 60. You can trade some out later on in the game. That's no problem.
But they're going to cost
They're going to cost you points, and they cost you a turn. So you may not want to do that if you can avoid it. Now, this game ends when one player gets down to, I think, 6 or less. You don't have to go down to 2. But that's the big difference with this one. One, the scale of the map is enormous.
Yes, it is.
But you have to figure out how many boats you want versus how many trains you want. And that can be kind of tough at the start of the game. Of course, you get your cards first before you do it. The flip side of this is...
the Great Lakes.
The Great Lakes. Yeah, of course.
Which is upside down.
Why would... Oh, come on.
Careful.
I'm so afraid of tearing this board. Okay. Try this again. The Great Lakes. Much more colorful board. Same exact concept.
A lot of green.
You still have harbors you can put out. The harbors are not as valuable in this one. I think it's 10, 20, 30 instead of 20, 30, 40. But again, you have
10,
a lot
20,
of
30.
trains and a lot. There you go. I knew it was on here somewhere. But you have a lot of train routes and you have a lot of boat routes across the Great Lakes.
This one actually has routes of 9. Rails and sails, their largest route was 8.
Oh, yeah, because, there's a great big one.
Yeah, because it gives you a card, plus it has it up here.
Oh, wow.
The route of 9 is 27 points.
27 points,
versus 21 points,
Yeah.
which is the largest route on the other side.
Yeah. But yeah, that's these two. I like these two, actually. I think it gave a lot more. It was a little bit longer game because you had that thought process of boats, and you're pulling cards at the same time. You can pull a train card, you can pull a boat card. You can pull either one. You can pull from the top of each stack. It didn't matter. But it was just complicated to... I mean, we literally had stacks in front of us. I'm saving these to get a harbor down. I need these for this run. I need these. It was intense.
Yes. Make sure that's on right.
I know. I think you just put it on wrong. You did. Totally upside down. Blaming you for that one. Okay, that is Rails and Sails. Okay. The big boy of Ticket to Ride.
And last but not least, the bigger boy of it.
Yeah.
This one will be easy to talk about. This is Legends of the West, the Legacy game. And that's it.
And that's it. Okay. So...
this one, though, if you like Ticket to Ride, this is worth getting, I think.
I think so.
We really enjoyed this to the point where we put the box on upside down.
We played through this entire set. I like... Here, let me... Okay.
What?
Nothing. Okay. This is a really interesting Legacy game. Now, I know, and this is not a spoiler, you start off with... literally, the map is puzzle pieces. You start off in the east.
You start off with New England.
Each game adds more pieces to the puzzle. You get more and more trains each game. It is really interesting. I'm not going to go into it too much beyond that, other than to say that we've already bought a second version and we're going to play it with our son and daughter-in-law. They both like Ticket to Ride also. We think this is going to be the next thing that we play to replace Heat, because that's what we're doing now.
In about a year. After all that.
I am looking forward to it, though. I absolutely adored this.
Yeah, this one was Legacy. A lot of fun.
And I think it'll be even more fun at 4 players. So, but that's it. That is all of our Ticket to Rides. I'm afraid that was probably a very long journey. Thank you for sticking it out. Yeah.
Until then, we'll see you at the next one.